Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Today I have an evolution of the Springfield Armory XDm Compact 3.8. This is the Elite OSP Compact 3.8. Please don't forget to check out our website. Go to our affiliates page. You'll find discount codes for things like Mantis Axe and Core belts. Link to that cool little bore light that we use for lighting up the barrels. Use those links. It will often save you money, never will cost you any additional money, and helps the channel. And please consider supporting the channel on Player, formerly Utreon, where we can do some types of videos that are no longer allowed on YouTube. This pistol pretty much replaces what was the original 3.8 compact that I mentioned. And it's, other than the magwell that you can see at the bottom, it's basically dimensionally the same. And if you didn't want something like a Glock 26, which is even a bit smaller and can be a bit of a challenge to hold on to, this was a very popular choice, and I believe now that it has been resurrected in the Elite series, will be an equally popular choice. Of course, it's unloaded, and you can see right at here you have the optics plate. It also comes with U-dot sights, so a U at the back and a red fiber optic at the front, and the sights are replaceable so that you can swap them out with other sights of your choice. They've actually added features, but they haven't taken away any features. Still has the 3 replaceable back straps so that you can adjust the thickness of the grip. It still has a very aggressive but not painful or bitey texture. So it stays in your hand, but it doesn't hurt your hand. This magwell does make it a little bit easier to get quick magazine insertion, but it is also removable. The magazines that come with it have this base plate, and they're designed to fit flush up underneath there into that magwell, and they hold 13 rounds. This will work with regular XDm magazines, but you would have to remove the magwell, otherwise the base plate gets in the way. And I actually kind of misspoke, so the magazine is labeled 13, but this base plate that comes with the Elites adds +1, so it's actually a 14-round magazine. And you'll find that it does work with the flush mags, but the regular mags from the older XDMs, but you would just have to remove the magwell. That's easy. You pop out a pin, take off the back strap, and then you can remove the magwell. Otherwise it stays well in place. It also will work with larger mags. Now this particular 19-round mag is actually a 20-round because it has that Elite base plate on it. And then the larger Elites in later generations actually came with 22-round mags, and there's even a 35-round mag available, and it'll work with these. The only ones that there's any concern whatsoever are the flush ones as far as the base plate versus the magwell, and making sure you have the right combination. Has a 3-slot Picatinny rail. Nice pronounced trigger guard, a lot of room for a glove. A little serration at the front if you like to put your fingers up there. It has a kind of a flatty trigger. It's actually just a hair of a curve at the bottom, but very flat trigger. And the inertial toggle disappears very quickly, does not bite into your finger. And it also has a grip safety, which goes away very quickly. If you get even remotely close to a proper grip on one of these, that grip safety will do its job, disengage and allow the pistol to fire. Otherwise, it disables it from firing, so it acts like a secondary safety. And it also has the internal striker block piston, like most of the striker guns out there. It also has the additional striker cocked indicator. If I turn it sideways, you can kind of see it sticking out a little bit, and you can feel it with your finger. So you can thumb it as you're putting it into a holster or while it's in the holster and determine. If I fire it, that disappears, goes away. If I turn it sideways, it's flush, and if you look, you don't see it anymore. If I cycle it, it's back. So there's a number of safety features on these that don't get in the way. You can use them if you choose to, otherwise they just do their job and they work perfectly. There's also a loaded chamber indicator that will protrude from the top if there's a round in the chamber. Now again, never use these as the definitive answer of whether it's ready to go or safe, but that does help determine it. Trigger on this is actually quite nice. Minimal take-up, real crisp but light break, decent reset. It's not the shortest out there, but it is a good reset. You're right on the wall, and then a nice crisp break. The trigger does make it easy to do the job, easy to get this thing working, stay on target on the range. And it does have an ambi slide stop slide release, and unlike a lot of guns these days, it actually has an ambi mag release. No reversing, it's just ready to go. It's ambi from the factory. Overall, these are well constructed. It's 6.75 front to back. It's 4.58 inches tall, a little shorter if you take the magwell off. 1.2 inches thick, so it's not the thinnest out there, but it's also not thicker than the majority of the others in this regular size competition, or regular size category. This is not one of the micro compacts, and it's got a number of ergonomic features. A little thumb rest, and just a nice comfortable grip, easy to get a hold of. It's about 2 fingers, maybe a half, if you want to put your finger on the magwell. Otherwise you might let your finger hang. If you take the magwell off, the magazines that have a sleeve, you can get magazines with sleeves, and they do blend very well. So Springfield has done a really good job of blending their mag sleeves in with their grips to give a nice smooth, either full 3-finger grip or larger, if you happen to take the magwell off and use one of the larger magazines. The ergonomic features on this, slightly different slide serrations. They're really easy to get a hold of. The slide is not super light on this, but it's not overly heavy either, and it is relatively smooth. So it's easy to cycle the slide. The magazine release works easily and well. It's recessed enough you're not going to get it by accident. And the magazines actually have a pretty good spring on them, so they're going to eject and drop free nicely if you're wanting to change the mags in a hurry. The slide stop slide release on it is not extended, but it is easy to get a hold of, and it is easy to drop. It works quite well, and if I pull it back, it goes up real easy. So overall, all the controls are easy to use and easy to work with. Even taking it apart is very easy to do on these, as well as reassembly. So I'll move into that next. So the first step is you would lock it back, flip up this lever, and this is of course for the purpose of cleaning it, maintaining it. And notice I didn't pull the trigger. Let me get rid of a few things here to make some room. By the way, it comes with 2 of these magazines normally. Every year, roughly every year, Springfield has done something called a Gear Up promotion. And when they do one of those promotions, it can come with 4 or 6 magazines. So watch out for the Gear Up, because when you see that, you're going to get more magazines. Internally, it's very robust. Real solid locking block and front rails. Nice long rails. Nice solid rear rails. Here's the fire control group, really clean and well machined. All the machining on these is always well done. Captive guide rod, dual, that's become quite common. Nicely machined barrel, really polished feed ramp, and the internals of the barrel, this is their match grade barrel. It is conventional rifling, but it's well machined, no chatter marks, no tool marks. Nice, smooth, well-defined rifling. And then inside the slide is also well machined. Here's your drop safety piston right here, and everything is polished. There is no machining marks or extraneous marks in here. Just overall a well done gun from beginning to end. Reassembly is equally easy. Drop the barrel in, drop the guide rod in, make sure it kind of centers. This one has a tendency to self-center, but you can give it a little shove. Line up the rails with the back of the slide, run it back, lock it back, drop the lever, and you're ready to go. Real easy to take care of. And unlike the Glocks, which have the little 2 tabs that you have to get a hold of that some people have a hard time getting their fingers on, this is actually quite easy to get. But it also is not going to snag on things, get in the way of holstering, or operate when you don't intend it to. So it's easy to use when you want to, otherwise it just stays out of the way. With an MSRP of $653 for this one, which has the optics ready, or an MSRP of $609 for the non-optics ready version of it, they're reasonably priced. They're right in there with all the others that are in this territory, and they're a very high quality gun that works reliably. They're easy to shoot well, they're very controllable. All of the XDMs that we've had have been just very reliable. It's one of those guns that you buy one, clean it, take it to the range, and it's just going to work. No break-in period, just works. At 27.5 ounces, this isn't as light as some of the super high-capacity micro compacts that are out there, but it's an easy gun to grip, it's an easy gun to control, it's comfortable, you can concealed carry it, you can actually use the same one for concealed and then nighttime, nightstand, home defense. So overall, it's a good balance of weight, size, and capacity, and concealability. Beyond that, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up. Share, subscribe, click that bell to be notified if you do. Check us out on Patreon. Actually, Utreon Now Player, where we can do some videos that we can't do on YouTube anymore. Instagram, Twitter, Rumble, Facebook, pretty much everywhere. And thank you.